And my guy slept in a little bit yesterday, so I saw the ticker later on with the Phillies signing Cliff Lee, and
You were stunned.
I was blown away, and I've read some emails from people that's coming in early Christmas. They've gone to Phillies heaven. They can't believe us. Yeah, because for almost a year, 363 days since Lee was back with the team, people, and you read these blogs, you read these message boards, they were clamoring for trading to get Cliff Lee back, signing him again. And I'm thinking, get real, people. They would have kept him. He's going to want too much money. It's still a ton of money. 5 years, $120 million if it all works out. About $100 million guaranteed right now. But Cliff Lee is back with the Phillies. What did you think of that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't see it coming, and I think what's happened here is it's interesting from a couple of standpoints. I think the national media reaction is shocked that this guy turned down more money to not go to the Yankees, and I think I used the scare quotes there because it's not that much more money. If you really look at the difference between, the Phillies have offered $120 million over 5 years. The Yankees offered $170 over 7 years. That's $24 million a year versus $24.3 million a year or something like that. And if you factor in the differences in taxes and cost of living, and you invest that money in compound interest and all of that,
wow.
It really is not. It really is. The Phillies offer was very, very significant. And I think that, to me, for a person who's been a long-time observer like us of the Phillies, that's the more significant part of this. Pat Gillick has a rule: we never offer a pitcher more than a 3-year deal. They offered Cliff Lee a 5-year deal. Spending this kind of money when you already have $60 million payroll, way out. I think the more remarkable part of this, from the Phillies standpoint, is that the Phillies were willing to do this more than that Cliff Lee was willing to do it.
Interesting, because I do agree with Gillick's business sense. It seems that's a pretty good deal.
Oh, I think it is too.
What's that going to say for Roy Halladay, who took a pay cut last year and also did the 3-year deal, okay, which, again, I think it makes sense. And you got Cole Hamels coming up in 2 years, and he's going to say, I want 5 years of that kind of money now, if he still produces the numbers. Now, that starting 4 staff, Halladay, Ray Oswalt, Cole Hamels, and now Cliff Lee. The lowest ERA was Lee at 3.18.
Oh, they're clearly going to have the best starting rotation.
I should say. It's unbelievable.
A dominant starting rotation, and they should certainly win the National League East. They're in a great situation because they should win their division, and the rotation will be more dominant, you would think, in the postseason. It sets them up more for the postseason than I think for the 162 game.
Yeah, I believe that the rotation last year, which was still pretty darn good, was
no
2 and 5 in the postseason.
Well,
so I'm saying it doesn't guarantee.
It doesn't guarantee you. That's
now,
right.
Would they have been better suited to go use that money, if you're going to spend that kind of money, and go get yourself a protection for Howard and a bat? Now, I'm not saying it had to be worse, but getting somebody.
Well, but who could that have been?
Carl Crawford. In that lineup, put him at the top of the lineup, what he could do.
See, I don't know if Carl Crawford would have been willing to come. I don't know what
did they try?
Of contractual situation. I think this was something that the Phillies were lurking in the shadows with Cliff Lee. Cliff Lee was not really entirely happy with didn't really want to go to New York. I think his wife didn't want to go to New York. That was part of this. And so the Phillies came in at the 11th hour and said, hey, what do you think, dude? Do you want to come back to us? And I think he did want to come back to us. It's one of those things where opportunity came and they took it.
I think, first of all, Yankees fans spit on his wife and swore at her during the playoffs last year.
You don't want that.
Okay. But I think it also, they might have been hiding in the bushes and waited to come into his last offer because New York and the Rangers weren't as good. But I think what happened was Worth gets away from him. There's no other great guy out there that don't just sign somebody to sign him, so they didn't give out some extra money for a hitter. The bullpen situation wasn't working today, what they thought, and they went with they zagged when everybody else was zigging. Okay, if we can't find the bullpen help we want, if we can't find the hitter we want, let's go get another good starting pitcher.
It's this old thing in baseball where you can't there's no such thing as too much pitching.
Because it actually helps the bullpen, because if he goes deeper into games, you don't need as many of them.
Sure, no question about it, and this is a win-win. And it's another small aspect of this, and we're rambling a little bit here, but another small aspect of this is the Phillies clubhouse is full of guys who want to be there, want to be on that team, like the manager, like the ballpark, like the fans, like the situation, and that sort of feeds on itself in a lot of ways. And one of those ways is that this guy wanted to be here.
I think it's a great chemistry in that clubhouse. The ironic thing was one of his closer friends he had when he was with the team was Jason Worth, who will not be there.